Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships with Wadres, and for today's video I am going to be putting out my admittedly very delayed video going over the 9.7 patch notes. I should also go out there and admit that I've actually been back up, so to speak, power-wise since Wednesday of last week, but between cleanup from flooding in the basement and a number of other things that just kind of added up last week, I really just didn't get as far as doing any video editing or anything. And to that point, I would also like to say that I am sorry to not have anything ready to go for the August von Parzival, but I'm going to be honest, looking back on it, some of the videos from the battle replays that I have for the August von Parzival, I'm really not happy with. I don't think they showcase what the ship is capable of, what the planes are capable of, and so I do want to take a little bit of time to properly do it justice, actually try to get a couple of decent battles. And part of why I'm saying that is because every single match that I've gotten so far in the Parzival, because I haven't really done that much with it, I've been playing, I'll admit, I've been playing Elite Dangerous a lot. The only battles that I got were, I guess, at the start of building up the, I guess I could say the co-op database for it. So I was getting all top tier matches, with the result that every single match in the ship was practically sucking. So I do want to try to get better footage for it. It may take me a little bit to get there, but I will have a review out for it at some point. I'm anticipating maybe 2 weeks, depending on how long it takes me to get what I want to do in Elite Dangerous done. So that being said, my focus right now is a little bit more over towards Elite Dangerous. I apologize, that's just where my interest is right at the moment. I may put out a video or two on that somewhere along the way, but I will be getting back to World of Warships. Just, I want to be able to do justice to what I'm talking about, and another part of that is having the interest there right at the moment. So just kind of want to put that out there for all of you. Yes, I am going to do it. Just, it may not be right away. Okay? Anyway, let's get going here on these notes. Update 9.7. And the German carriers are fully available for research, all the way from the Tier 4 Rhine up to Manfred von Richthofen. Now, they are starting a new collection where you can get, collection units and whatever for the whole German Navy. And to my knowledge, you can get alternative camo patterns, and it's basically the same as what they've done for the French, US, Japanese up to this point. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised that they hadn't done it for the German Navy up till now, because they've actually been in the game longer than the French. So why would the French get some of these things earlier? But you know what? That's neither here nor there. Directives for some of the missions. We've got Pommern, Mainz, Z-39, Admiral Hipper. These can be gotten from the German Navy containers. These are potential unlock missions. So if you don't have any of these ships, they might be worth it for you. I haven't played with or tested anything except really the Hipper. I don't believe I have the Z-39. In fact, I'm pretty much sure I don't have the Z-39. So, I mean, for those of you who do have them and enjoy them, I'd definitely ask you to make a couple of posts on the video, just letting others know whether or not you think they're worth it, but that's entirely up to you. Now, we also have a new ranked sprint coming along, 3v3 for Tier 9, which actually sounds rather interesting. Maybe I might get into that at some point or other, we'll see. They're changing the order of... correction. You can now set your own order for the consumables that you have on your ship. So whatever you use the most versus least, you can set to the keys that you think will be easiest to set them to. So you can have customized consumable organization for your ships, which is a nice quality of life improvement for players, I suppose. We have new unique upgrades that are coming into the game for some tier 10s that have been waiting for them for a while. We've got unique upgrades for Daring, Clever, Harugumo, Kremlin, Audacious, Midway, and Hakuryu. Midway and Hakuryus have been in the works for a while now, so it's a good thing that maybe they're going to be getting something that's actually useful now instead of just basically sitting in your inventory doing absolutely nothing. The Daring gets a 10% reduction to torpedo reload and a 15% increase to maximum torp damage, which is an interesting choice. Kleber, you get a 20% reduction to detectability, but you also get a massive nerf to your main battery reload with an 80% increase in main battery reload. And to my understanding, the Kleber's main battery doesn't exactly have the greatest reload to begin with, so this is really kind of hurting. But you do have that added benefit of the detection range, which will allow her to do a little bit more with her torpedoes, I suppose, instead of basically being a complete and total long-range spammer. Let's see, Harugumo gets a smoke primary bonus here, 30% bonus to smoke screen dispersion, 100% to smoke generator, and 1 charge for consumables. So it will give her a lot more flexibility with her smoke and everything. Definitely going to make her a lot harder for players to deal with once she smokes up. And I think it's going to be a nice quality of life improvement for the Harugumo. I think I will definitely look forward to that. Though affording the rather hefty 19,200 research points for it may be something of a deal breaker, maybe. We'll see. Kremlin. I'm not sure how I feel about this one, but I haven't exactly played a Kremlin to know whether or not this is effective. I've heard, personally, I don't think the Kremlin is as big a deal as some people are making it out to be, but granted, I'm a co-op main. But 18% to main battery reload decrease, so that's higher DPS, but you have a 12% reduction to main battery firing range. So what is already basically a short-range battleship is getting even shorter main battery firing range. You're also getting a 1 charge reduction for consumables. And that's a big deal because these battleships, the Kremlin, Vladivostok, they only have a set number of charges on their damage control party. So that could actually hurt in the long run if you are not careful with your consumable use. Let's see. Audacious, we have a 15% reduction to detectability, 20% increase to engine boost for aircraft, which is a major buff to the aircraft. And then the rest look like they are direct hull influences, 50% time to reach full power, and 30% rudder shift in bonuses. So, I don't know, maybe it could be useful, but I think people are going to be looking more at this than anything else on that ship. Let's see, Midway gets some direct aircraft bonuses. We get a 10% bomber cruising speed, a increase to bomber cruising speed, a 5.5% increase to bomber minimum speed. Now, there is a reduction of 4.5% to bomber maximum speed, but you also get a 10% increase to these already devastating HE bombs. They now have a 10% increase to bomb damage. So, destroyers, look out. Especially if you get a skilled midway player. Hakuryu gets a 15% increase to maximum aircraft speed, but a major nerf to the action time of the engine boost duration. So, yeah, that could be painful. Because one of the Hakuryu's biggest strengths is that she has some rather fast aircraft, but engine boost really does not last long, especially if you're looking at your rocket attack aircraft. So that could be very painful because that affects your ability to get in and out of trouble, basically. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And of course, we have updates to existing consumables. The Z-52 is getting a bonus to torpedo detection. The detectability of her torpedoes is being reduced by 10%. So that makes her a little bit more stealthy. It'll make her torpedoes a little bit more of a surprise drop for ships that aren't using hydro or any of the new torpedo detectability bonuses. Grozovoy is getting a penalty applied to torpedo reload. It's increasing from 10 to 20%, so that's going to be an ouch right there. Let's see, Moskva. The reduction to main battery is being nerfed slightly. It's going from 11% to 7%, and her main battery traverse penalty is being increased from 13 to 20%. So her guns are going to turn slower, and her dispersion is going to be slightly worse. So if you have Moskva with her unique upgrade, that might be interesting. Let's see, Minotaur removes bonus that increased dispersion of incoming enemy shells. So incoming enemy shells are going to be as accurate as if they were firing at anybody else. There is a bonus, however, that is being added, which reduces the reload time of her consumables. So this is going to allow her to pop smoke, DFAA, whatever, just a little bit faster. The Zhao is removing a bonus to rudder shift. It's just completely removing the bonus with no addition. So, minor performance change. But depending on how you build her, I suppose that's not too painful. And then Yamato, they're removing a bonus reducing the main battery reload time. And there is a slight advantage here in that they are adding a little bit of a buff. The penalty to the main battery traverse has been reduced from 19 to 13%. So if you have this equipped, her guns are going to turn a little bit slower, but they're also going to reload a little bit slower. Could be interesting to see how that goes. Personally, I've never used the Yamato's bonus, or the Yamato's unique upgrade, just because I never really saw too much of a bonus from it personally anyway. But that's beside the point. The Naval Base is getting some changes. This is for your clans, or those of you who are clanned up out there. Improvements for the Treasury that will allow exchange of oil for clan rewards. Nice bonus for those of you who have clans that have excessive amounts of oil to spare and everything's already built. Let's see, Research Center, which provides a bonus to amount of experience earned, has been renamed War College. A new building named the Research Institute has been added, which allows the amount an increase to the research points a clan receives. Clan's activity, and this is something that my clan will probably not benefit too much from. The more random ranked and co-op battles that have been fought by clan members over the last month, more vessels will appear in the waters of the naval base. So your clan's naval base may appear a little bit more active, depending on how active your clan actually is as a whole. Let's see. 2 signals are being added to the armory in exchange for coal credits or research points, though why would you spend research points on them personally? You've got X-Ray Papa Unoon, I think that's pronounced right, increases the action time of a smoke generator by 15%. I can see this especially being a bonus for destroyers and, say, the British cruisers. Sierra Bravo increases action time of Hydro by 10% and reduces cooldown period of DFAA by 10%. So I can see German destroyers definitely taking this. I can also see your Hydro or especially Hydro battleships, like your German battleships, taking this. They don't have DFAA, but improving the action time of Hydro, hey, that's more torpedo detection time, right? Let's see. Pommern is available for 228,000 coal. She's basically a upgrade from the Bismarck without being an upgrade to 16-inch guns. She has 12 380 millimeters, so straight upgrade. You're still getting those 15 or 14, whatever size the 380 actually comes to. I think it's 15-inch. And you're getting 12 of them as opposed to 8. So it looks to be an interesting sort of upgrade from the Bismarck as a premium instead of a tech line with 16-inchers. Of course, there's also the Erich Lowenhart at Tier 6 that is being added in. She is available primarily in the premium shop, and she's a Tier 6 premium aircraft carrier. Not too much else to say there. I haven't gotten her or played with her. And a contentious one, I suppose. We have the Slava for 63,000 research points. Ugh. Ouch, 63,000. That's a lot of research points. And from what I've seen at least from a lot of people, she is basically considered severely OP due to her Sigma and accuracy. I don't know how that's changed with her ultimate implementation, but, I mean, for those of you who love to shout Russian bias, I believe this has kind of been the flagship for it. So that's all I've really got to say there. The unique British historical commander Andrew Cunningham is being added to the armory for 175,000 coal, and he will come with 10 skill points. And he has unique talents that increase the speed of ship and aircraft, provide additional charges to ships' consumables, or increase the reload speed of armament. So, for those of you who didn't get him, I guess, in earlier iteration through missions or whatever, now you can get him for coal. Some minor game balance changes here. We have attack aircraft changes, and this affects all attack aircraft. This is German rocket attack, and this is an improvement that I think aircraft carriers have needed for a while. I don't know why they didn't do it in the first place, but it makes sense to do it this way considering the optimal angle for attacking a destroyer is basically perpendicular to her path of travel. So the crosshair has been rotated 90 degrees, now stretched horizontally, which makes a lot more sense for these rocket attack planes. So this is going to be a major quality of life improvement for Hermes, Furious, Ark Royal, basically every aircraft carrier in the tech lines so far. So, yay, awesome. Let's see. Nicholas, Farragut, Mahan, Benson, Fletcher, and Gearing are getting a bonus to continuous AA damage provided by DFAA consumable. It's going from 75% increase to 100% increase. So those of you who enjoy fitting DFAA on your US destroyers, you're getting a little bit of a buff there. Let's see, Venezia has had her reload time increased to 21 seconds and her rudder shift increased to 13.6 seconds. So she's getting I guess I could say a couple of minor nerfs. Jutland is getting a minor nerf with a increase to 4.5 seconds for her main battery. Colorado and Nagato can now mount fighter consumables on their standard hulls. Buffalo, St. Louis, and Ibuki get spotting aircraft now for their standard hulls. Danai, Degetruon, Karlsruhe, Kuma, and Svitlana can now mount hydroacoustic search on their standard hulls. Phoenix can now mount hydroacoustic search on both A and B hulls. And Richelieu can now mount engine boost and spotting. The spotting aircraft or fighter consumable and the engine boost were swapped, I guess, for relocation. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what that's implying there. Let's see. Other content additions and changes. A new permanent camouflage is being added for Atlanta. The summer expendable camouflage is being added. There are also 9 patches being added. However, details are not out yet as far as those. And then Kansas, Minnesota, Vermont, Florida, and the Tier 10 Kitakami are being added for testing. So it'll be interesting to see how those develop overall in the news feeds. And of course, as always, there are a major list of improvements, bug fixes, whatever. But the primary one that is, I'm sure, going to affect a number of players that players will be most interested in, we have some research costs to aircraft carriers that are being adjusted. The Tier 4 aircraft carriers of all nations are getting a decrease to EXP cost, going from 68,000 to 40,000 at Tier 6. So that's going to make the Tier 6 aircraft carriers easier to get a hold of. The EXP for Tier 8 is going up to 161,000 from 158, so a 3,000 EXP increase, depending on how you play. If you're a co-op main like myself, that's maybe, 3-4 battles, so that's really not too bad. And then the EXP to go from Tier up to Tier 10 has been increased from 330 to 355,000. So a 25,000 EXP increase. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out overall. It makes the Tier 10s a little bit harder to get. Probably not a bad thing, but according to Wargame, even with all of this adjustment and everything, it still makes the aircraft carriers kind of equivalent to Access. That there's no real change to the overall experience requirement. So could be better, could be worse. At least the overall, according to their numbers, I guess, really isn't changing. Apparently, also in game battles, due to technical reasons, the thunderstorm fronts are temporarily disabled. Going to be interesting to see where that goes, I suppose. We've got a large number of other changes and fixes that are going on. Post-battle service to Graf Zeppelin, especially Graf Zeppelin and Graf Zeppelin B, is being adjusted. Apparently there was an error causing her post-battle service to be 60,000 instead of 52,500. I can also see a problem here in that apparently there was an error that allowed Siegfried to actually be sold. Ugh, I feel sorry for anybody who accidentally did that. Let's see, other things. Fixed an error that caused turrets of Albemarle to receive critical damage from HE shells without taking armor into account. I can see how that would be problematic. Just seeing a lot of other little things that are just aesthetic more than I guess functional. There is one other sort of big thing here. Operation Nerai has been returned to the rotation. Apparently there was a technical error that she had, and that error has now been taken care of. So Nerai is going to be back in the rotation for operations, for those of you who enjoy playing operations. Beyond that, there's really not too much going on here that's really of note, at least to my perspective. So anyway, that is the Update 9.7 patch notes. And by the way, those of you who've gotten this far in the video, what do you think of me trying to do all of this with a webcam now? I actually have my tablet set up for functioning as my webcam for my PC, and so I'm just kind of curious to see what everybody thinks of it, and I might keep going with it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, on that note, I suppose I shall go ahead, let everybody go. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what you've seen, if you found this informative, and hope to see more. On that note, I'll catch you all again later. Have fun, folks, and I wish you all happy hunting.